In today's episode of Oracle Apex Fundamentals Academy, we're diving into the world of dashboard design with an interactive grid report. We'll build a solid foundation by creating a blank application, setting up key areas like employees, charts, and numbers. Our focus will be on crafting an interactive grid report, generating charts for average earnings by positions, and adding personalized badge lists for a unique touch. Join us on this journey to master effective dashboard creation in Oracle Apex.
In this workshop, I will create a simple dashboard based on interactive grid report. In the App Builder panel, I choose to create a new application, select New Application, and give it a name. I leave all the default settings and create the application. I create a new page by selecting the Create Page button and select Blank Page. I give the new page name. I name a new page. I expand the navigation menu. Here I select the Create a New Entry option and create a new page. Now I will create a region layout. In the left panel, I create a new region by right-clicking on a body element and selecting Create Region from the context menu. In the right panel, I name the region. Then I add a subregion by right-clicking on a Dashboard Region item in the left panel and selecting the Create Subregion option. I add two more subregions in the same way. I name the subregions I create. I select the employees subregion, and in the right panel, in the layout section, I set the column span parameter to 7. Then I select the charts subregion, set the column parameter to 8, and the column span to 3. And turn off the Start New Row parameter. In the last subregion, I change the column parameters to 11, column span to automatic, and also turn off the Start New Row parameter. I add two more subregions to the charts region. I call them Chart 1 and Chart 2 respectively. I save the page by clicking the Save button in the upper right corner of the screen and check the effect by clicking the green Run Page button. The Login panel appears in the New Browser tab. I am providing the login and password that I used to log in to the development panel. Now I will create a report using interactive grid. I go back to the development panel and select the employees region. In the right panel, I change the type parameter to interactive grid. Then, in the source section, I change the type parameter to SQL query and enter the SQL query code. I save the page and check how it works. An interactive grid report appears on the left. I will now add a chart of average earning by job title onto the report. In the running application, in the report region, I click the Actions button and select Chart. I choose any type of chart, for example a bar. I set the parameter values. I'm saving. Chart parameters can be modified by clicking on the item that appears directly below the search bar in the region. I'll move on to creating charts in the development panel. I go back to the panel and select the Chart 1 region. I change the value of type parameter to chart. In the appearance section, I change the value of the template parameter to blank with attributes. I select the attributes item and set the pi value for the type parameter and set the title. In the left panel, I go to the series subheading. In the source section, I set the type to SQL query and enter the code. In the column mapping section, I set the appropriate parameter values. I save the page and check the effect. A chart showing the number of people in branches has appeared in the graph region. Now I will create a second chart. I'm going back to the development panel. For the second chart, I follow the same steps as for the first, only changing the type and its title. In the series section, I set the appropriate SQL code and set the column mapping. I'm saving the page. This is the result of chart 2. The last element of the dashboard will be creating a list with badges. I go back to the development panel and go to Shared Components by clicking on the icon to the left of the Save button. In the navigation section, I click Lists. I create a new list by clicking Create. I give the list a name and change the type to dynamic. I enter the SQL code in the appropriate field and click Next. Then, without changing anything, I click Create. I return to the page by clicking the Edit Page button at the top of the page. In the numbers section, I change the type to list. In the source section, I select my list as the value of the list parameter. I check the attributes box and change list template to batch list. In template options, I change the layout parameter to stacked. I'm saving the page. This is what the final effect of the created dashboard looks like.